Why is the housing inventory still low? Hey everyone, it's Tim Royster here, and yes, the question is, why is the housing inventory still low? I'm also going to talk about some dynamics, what's going on in the market right now, and so that we can have a good conversation going into the spring market, because you know what? It's already spring around Northern Virginia. Not if you look outside, but if you look at the housing market, you will definitely say the spring market is here. So, why is it low? There's really two reasons. There may be three, but there's really two reasons right now why housing inventory is still low. And one of those is actually tied to builders. You know, over the last several years, since the housing crash of 2008, builders slowed down building new homes. They were very careful about building or overbuilding and not being able to sell their inventory. Then you had the pandemic hit, and then you have people that are living in their houses and realizing that their house is more than just a place where they go in the evenings and watch a movie and have dinner and play. It was actually a place where they were working. It was a place where the kids were in school doing distance learning. And then they have even your fitness had to be at the house. Obviously, it created this need for new housing for people that were in either condos or smaller homes, realized they needed additional space. And so they started buying homes. And that's what created this inventory level, supply level that was not keeping up with the demand. So here we are, it's 2022 and we're still experiencing it. So we're like, why? Why are we not seeing more sellers coming to the market and selling their homes? I think there's two reasons. A lot of sellers took advantage, a lot of homeowners took advantage of these incredible interest rates, and so they refinanced their current house. Maybe they realized that, you know what, that we're going to stay here for a little bit longer. I'm staying in this position at work, or this is a good spot for us. Maybe we can't find the new home where we're looking, and so we're just going to refinance at these incredibly low interest rates. And yes, they were amazing. Not that they're bad now, but they were amazing last year. You can see that around here. I don't know about you, but if we drive down neighborhoods, even at the end of last year into this year, there are contractors doing kitchen remodels, doing extensions, doing bump outs, going pop-ups. I mean, there's all these things happening because people are realizing the home needs to function differently. And I don't think those are bad investments. I think those are all great. So, but those potential sellers are not there because they're actually staying in the home and modifying the home that they already owned. So, buyers, what does that mean for you? Inventory is still low. But we know that there's all these different seasons of life for our homeowners that they decided it's time to go. Maybe they're tired of Northern Virginia, or they're retiring, or they realize that they can now move and work from home, wherever home may be. And it may not be here in Northern Virginia. They may go to the south or some other area. And we are seeing that transition, but it's not enough yet. Right now, the first 2.5, 3 weeks of the new year has been, I'm using a new word, because I thought it was cool, the hurly-burly of open house life. Yeah, it's been a little chaotic out there right now, guys. I mean, if you remember anything, if you were looking at open houses last year, maybe in March, April, May, do you remember the lines outside because they were trying to limit the amount of people inside, and it was for a good reason, because we were all learning how everything was working with the pandemic, but this thing's happening again now. There's a line outside. It could be raining on a Saturday or Sunday, and there's still a line right outside waiting for those doors to open. And then the door opens, and then people just flood. Some are going to the living room, some are running over to the basement, some checking out the kitchen, running upstairs. It's a little chaotic. And so we just want to tell you that there are a lot of buyers still searching for homes. I was with my teammate the other day. We popped in a house over in the Annandale, and I think it was Annandale area. So the open house was in about 10 minutes. And there was already about 8 cars kind of driving down the cul-de-sac, just sitting in the car. And then one group comes out and stands in the lawn. So that means other people start getting out of their cars, and they're all starting to circle around the front door. And the door's locked. So then we see the next car come in, and then it's the Realtor, and an open house sign in one hand, all the folders in the next hand, and just like looking in shock that I've got about 8 to 10 groups out here in the front lawn of this house. It's a little crazy, but I want you to be prepared when you go out to open houses and you see this conundrum going on where people are just running through the homes and taking a look at things. So let's talk about that. Why? Why, besides the low inventory, why are we also seeing all these buyers that it was a little quiet in November, December? Why are they now coming out? And I think it's about the interest rates. They've always were planning on buying a house, just maybe like you're planning on buying a house. But now the interest rates have been doing a very interesting tick up over the last 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, we could have talked about interest rates being below 3 before in November, December. But now they're going much higher. And I wanted to share, this is a link that we track with our team on a daily basis, and one of our great lenders shared this with us. And I think it's important that we share this with you. So you'll see in the link below, in the comments below, this link to this place. And I'm going to read it out loud to you because it's just mortgagenewsdaily.com/mortgage rates. Why is that so important? I think it's important for you guys to be able to see how the federal minutes, how bond market, how these yields are impacting interest rates right now. Are they horrible? No, historically they're amazing. Have they moved a lot over the last 3 weeks up? Have they moved up? Yeah, they have moved up. And actually, to be knowledgeable as a seller to watch that too, because there are some threats to you selling the house. I use that word, but that's really what it could be. It could be a threat. What are the threats? I think that you have to watch the inventory level, one, to see if they are coming to, if people will put their house on the market sooner than later. And I think that's going to happen. I am hopeful that we'll see more properties come to the market. Will it be enough to offset the demand? Probably not, because it's never been like that in the last few, like 5 years that I can recall. But it will help maybe slow down price increases. It may scatter the herd of buyers to different homes, which I think is a good thing. But be aware of that as a seller. And buyers, that's some hope that I want to bring to the table for you. We need to find that balance. Where is the price point? What price home will actually start to see the impact of interest rates going up? We need to just track that. I don't have the answer for it yet, and we're seeing that buyers are still leveraging the low interest rate environment, even though it is going up, because they know it's a long-term hold for buying a home to live in. So it's still a smart investment. We're not talking about 10% rates here. We're talking about under 3. We kind of got used to that. And now it's still under 4. The last thing I want to talk about is, so yeah, the crazy thing with open houses, but then let's talk about this thing where you go, well, we get a lot of texts and emails from our clients say, hey, this came on the market, and I'll go to the open house on Saturday or Sunday, and we will quickly respond back, let's go see the house today or tomorrow morning. How is your flexibility to see the house now? And the reason why, guys, is that we are seeing some sellers not even waiting until an open house. They're not waiting throughout the weekend because, one, maybe they're living there still and they've got 43 appointments that have been booked. I'm not kidding, guys. There was one the other day that had 53 showings that were booked over 48 hours. And the sellers were a little overwhelmed. I get that. And they already had 5 offers on the first day. So if they have 5 great offers the first day, they might as well go and start reviewing those offers and pick one, and then they can be done with that process and move on with a ratified contract. So my tip for you guys is, do not wait for an open house. If you want to see the home, you got to get in quickly, because the sellers may make a decision way before that open house. When I say way before, it could be Thursday. And we're already seeing, even in some of the notes that we see in the agent remarks, is that seller reserves the right to accept an offer before the open house or an offer deadline. So that's something I want you to make sure of as you're going into this very fast market where people are still making smart decisions. So my goal, our team's goal, is to make sure that you are, first, understanding the market, the dynamics of the market. Secondly, that you're making a smart decision and your goals are still aligned with that house. And then third, track the interest rates.